Ultimately, it was the script. It really resonated with me, and especially all the stuff about the absent father and wanting to live up to your dad's reputation and stuff. Really, I identified with it. You know, I had a father who was a champion athlete, and he left when I was very young as well. So there was that sense of wanting to grow up to be the man that he was. You know, in a way. And that comes across very strongly in the script. It's also just a beautifully human portrait of a man who's larger than life. We only know Barassi as the legendary footballer and enigmatic and successful coach, but this really gives an insight into the man. I imagine that he would have probably gone through a bit of racist stuff early on, Ron Jr., and I encountered a little bit of that when I came out here, not much. And for me, it was a driving force to prove myself even more, you know. I wanted to succeed, you know, despite the taunts and stuff. And sometimes I wanted to prove that I was good at cricket and good at football and good at the Aussie games. You know, they were traditionally Aussie games, and to be good at them meant that you were accepted. I was born in Rome, in Italy, and came out here in '73 as an 8-year-old. And never seen a football in my life. But I got into it at a very early age. I moved, my first school was North Baldwin Primary, and I was one of the only WOG kids there. But we got into the footy, and then we moved to Carlton, which was a lot better, more of my type in Carlton. I lived a stone's throw from Princess Park. I played for Carlton Little League. I played junior football with Millham Hanna, and went to school with Paul Meldrum and Spiro Kukamelis and a few Carlton greats. You know, my first game I attended at Princess Park would have been not long after Barassi departed from the Blues. Barassi's driving force, you know, what comes across for me certainly is the determination and the will to win. But I think that there's something deeper that underpins that, and that is wanting to be, again, it goes back, I think, to wanting to be a success in his father's eyes. And I think a lot of men these days, although we don't talk about it, suffer a kind of separation from their fathers, especially that generation, because they weren't communicative, they weren't affectionate, they didn't tell you that you were doing all right. They might tell you, they'd certainly tell their mates, my son's a champion, but they'd never tell you to your face. But it's just their way, you know, it was tough love. They didn't believe in showering you with praise or you know, affection. And I think that sort of shines through to me too in this story, is that Barassi's kind of missing his dad a bit, you know. And certainly in the interviews that I've seen with him recently, he seems to be more open about that now than you know, I think he probably feels it more now that he's getting, you know, more senior in years.
Now I want to see you give 110% out there. 110.
Am I going to be as scary as the great Ron Barassi when he gives a spray? Well, I only wish. He was quite an intimidating force to be reckoned with, and you know, the footage on YouTube we see of him, and the footage we see of him addressing his troops, I think we're only a fraction of what he would have been like in real life facing that. So look, I'll do my best. He is such a formidable character, and to be able to inspire players to those levels, to transcend what they're capable of on a daily basis and find that something special, to go that extra yard, you know, that's a talent. And yeah, if I can capture 10% of it, I'll be happy.